What's up, Pizzaholics? You know this place. Everybody knows this place. Come on. Williamsburg Pizza, the original location. Beautiful neighborhood here in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Williamsburg. One of my favorite neighborhoods. Williamsburg Pizza, guys. The pizza is supposedly excellent. Let's go find out and let's go eat, baby. Now, the reason why I said that you gotta know this place, you definitely heard of it, was because the owner of this place is Nino Coniglio, and you probably heard of him. He's a really big personality. He's all over YouTube. He did some stuff with Action Bronson. He's got his own podcast, which I watch weekly. Really good podcast. Nino Coniglio, or Coniglio. I don't know how they say his name, but it means rabbit. Nino Coniglio. I love his podcast. I totally recommend it. Very colorful guy, cool guy. And most importantly, supposedly, really good pizza. Whenever the guy from Boston gives a place a good score, I think he gave this a 9. Well, close to it, like a high 8. And that's why, guys, I got 2 varieties today. I got his Brooklyn. He calls this the Brooklyn. That's the Brooklyn. Gas oven, cheese pizza, oregano. Oh, this feels great. Oh, baby. I wanted to get this because, you know, this is the quintessential New York Brooklyn, baby. He calls it the Brooklyn because it's the quintessential pizza. And it's a good choice to call it the Brooklyn. This type of pizza, the quintessential New York pizza, became very popular in Brooklyn because in Manhattan, they still had a lot of coal oven stuff back in the day. This here, the quintessential New York style, was popularized in Brooklyn. And I want to see if we have another 8. Because I don't really rate New York style pizza in the 8s too often. And of course, guys, a New York style margarita. Gotta get the margarita. So I want to go and dive right into this, guys. This is calling my name. Look at that. Nice dark brown undercarriage. Blisters going on. Got the blisters on the crust. It feels great. It feels pillowy. This is what you want to hear when you move a pizza around, guys. Listen. Look how soft, crispy on the bottom, exterior crunch, soft inside. Oh, baby. Heavy pizza. It's pretty heavy. The crust feels light, but there's a lot of cheese on here. It's not flopping. We are off to a hell of a start, Nino Coniglio. We are off to a hell of a start. Definitely not undersauced like many New York cheese pizzas are. This one is not undersauced at all. Nice and tight, baby. Lots of cheese, never too stringy or messy. As I process the score for their cheese pie, their Brooklyn pie, I'm going to go and grab this behemoth. Guys, I got to show you something. Look at those air pockets. Look how airy this pizza is. It kind of reminds me of Scars a little bit. The crust. Very similar. Very similar. It's extremely similar to Scars. That softness, that crispy bottom, airiness. No flop all day long for this pizza. Nino Coniglio don't mess around, boy. I'm telling you. Oh, this is right up my alley. This is the type of pizza I love, guys. The shredded cheese on it. The 2 cheeses. Oh, my God. Look at that sauce. Lots of it. Lots of it. I think the thickness of it is maybe a little on the thick side. The cornicione is a little too thick. Pardon the noise, guys. Somebody's having a party up there. Guys, I I ate that thing so fast I almost forgot to do the final bite for the crisp factor. It's safe to say that someone's throwing bottle rockets at me. 4th of July in Brooklyn. Everybody point the bottle rockets at the guy talking to himself on the corner eating pizza. Getting shot at, baby. Good way to go out, eating good pizza. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time to move into the lab. Time to analyze Williamsburg Pizza, the original location. There's a couple, by the way. There's a couple of them. I think there's 2. Maybe 3, I don't know, but there's a few. And for good reason, guys, for good reason. I want to start with the crust. As a matter of fact, that oregano is just talking to me right now. Look at all those herbs. Look at that. That's the Brooklyn, baby. That's why he calls it the Brooklyn. Very much in the spirit of a New York style pizza. Thin, thickens up. It's not like a low-end New York style slice where it's like an open-faced grilled cheese sandwich. Most of them are. They're called cheese pizzas, and they put nothing but cheese on them with a little bit of sauce. Not the case here. You can see that sauce underneath the cheese, and it's not skimping out on cheese either. Yeah, he's using grande mozzarella, some of the best low moisture cheese out there, and they don't skimp out, guys. It's a very balanced pizza, cheese to sauce ratio. Gets dry towards the end, like I was saying before. It could use a little more sauce towards the back. And I think that if you're a sauce guy like I am, this is an overall better pizza, but I'll talk about that one in a minute. Sauce was a bit on the sweet side, maybe a little paste, I don't know. Do your own research. I'm not reading off an ingredients list. But it was a little sweet. Now this pizza kind of changed a little bit as it cooled down. It's not crackling anymore. So I'm going to do the cold test in a minute. This is something I haven't really done much because most of the pizzas I've been ordering lately are just so good that they're just not greasy. The same could be said for this pizza. Look at those wax papers. Barely any grease on this box, guys. That's grande mozzarella for you, baby. But this place looked like they were using the electric oven. That seems to be the trend lately with so many new places. Electric ovens are like the new gas ovens from back in the 50s. Very similar to Scars. As it cools down, it gets a bit doughy. It loses its crunch. We're going to do a cold test, guys. Here we go. Don't flop. This thing will not flop. This is very consistent. Unlike Joe's and Scars, which I find to be more inconsistent, because you get some slices that flop on you. Scars and Joe's, which I'm going to compare this to. I mean, hey, they're both, those are the 2 best, right? Those are the 2 heavyweights, right, when it comes to the New York style, right? Missing, however, is the char on the bottom that you get on the Joe slice, so this ain't going to be on par with Joe's. I want char on a pizza. You know, even if it's from a gas oven, it still adds a little smokiness to it. This doesn't have that Scars, that Joe's char. What it does have is a better balanced cheese to sauce ratio than Scars. So I'm going to go higher than Scars and lower than Joe's. I was going to go a little higher, but since it got a little doughy as it cooled, and there's no char, I can't give this what the guy from Boston gave it. I mean, I think that was a little high, but I am giving it the 8-1, guys. It's better than better than Scars, not as good as Joe's. My favorite of the 2, guys. This was my favorite. This one's crackling a little more. You see that? Whereas this one, to cool down, and it's not crackling at all anymore. It's very doughy. That only adds to the fact that this is my favorite of the 2. It's still a little doughy. It did get a little chewier as it cooled down. This dough, this crust needs to be eaten. This pizza needs to be eaten hot, right out the oven. Anyway, usually margaritas, you get a different sauce. As a matter of fact, it may be different after all. Look at the color. This one's a little darker. I don't know if this is the marinara. This had a little more taste, possibly a marinara, which is, garlic spiked. Not sure. But the margaritas are usually baked with different sauce. Most places do that. And judging by the color, it could be the case. They didn't taste too different. I think I just tasted more of it on here because there's more sauce on the margarita. So maybe that's why it tasted different. But the color looks different too. Both were seemingly laden with tomato paste because the tomatoes aren't the brightest tomatoes, guys. On the sweet side, didn't taste, you know, I wanted that fruity tomato taste, you know. I got a little paste, hints of paste. I don't know. I'm just going by my palate. I'm not reading off an ingredients list, but it tasted a little pasty to me. And on the plus side, there's a generous amount of sauce on this pizza, as well as cheese. 2 types. You got the fresh mozzarella. He's using good stuff, guys. Very high milk content. It dried up. It's still very milky. Look at that. It's not that plasticky fresh mozz, you know what I mean? That basil, believe it or not, had some kick to it. It had some kick to it, guys. So much basil is bitter and tasteless nowadays on pizza. This was pretty good. It was pungent. And speaking of pungent, the funk from that grated cheese. And we're talking a whole lot of it. Look at that. Really adds some good contrast between that sharp, funky Parmigiano or Grana. Could be both, not sure. Could be one or the other. Good contrast between that sharp, funky grated cheese and that milky, fresh mozz. Oh, baby. We got ourselves a winner here, folks. All right, pizza gets cold. We give it another fold, guys. That's 4 slices now that I tested. This is 4 folds now for the day. 4 times I folded pizza today, and 4 times it never flopped. Changed a little bit in texture, so I can't, you know, as much as I love the ingredients, sauce a little sweet, maybe, you know, maybe could have scaled back on the paste or whatever. I don't know if there's any paste in the sauce, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't too bad, you know. It wasn't too bad. It didn't really ruin the experience, but I've had better sauces than this. I like my sauce a little more runny, you know that, guys. But despite that, the cheese, the parm, the excellent crust, I'm going to go slightly higher. I'm going to go 8.4 for this. It just didn't have the char. It's not, you know, I can't go high 8s. Can't do it. I wanted to, but in the end, this is as good as New York style crust can get. And I mean New York style pizza crust, you know, the tan colored crust. It's not really an artisanal crust. I would not call this artisanal pizza, but it's as high end as New York style pizza can get, guys. It's as good as it gets in the city. Well, guys, that about sums it up for Williamsburg Pizza. Nino Coniglio, if you're watching, man, you've created some monsters over here, baby. Good stuff, good pizza. I recommend it. Come on down. Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Williamsburg Pizza. One of 2 locations, I believe, or 3. Not sure. Pretty good stuff, man. Pretty good stuff. Be well. Hit that like, guys. Thanks for watching. Really do appreciate it. If you want, guys, you want to chip in a little bit, help put a little bit of gas in my car, hit that donate tab in my right on my sticker there, the banner. Yeah, until next time, keep those bellies full. This is Antonio signing off.